Drum roll, please. Hello. Hello, Dark Shadow. Hello, everyone. Hello, my darlings. Present and future. How is everyone today on this Friday? I am currently in the trenches of the swamp. Hello, hi. Come here to watch me render your little commission today. I have a creepy background today. This one's actually, instead of it being a study of an environment, this actually came fully from my mind's eye, based on a little scene that we had in our last D&D session, and it was very spooky. Good, tired from work, but pumped for the stream. Yay! I'm glad we have something to look forward to every Friday. Very swampy. Yeah. The setting for our campaign is very marshy, so yeah, it's just very creepy and swampy, and honestly it seems like a really horrible place to live because you'd always have wet feet. But yeah, this is the home of a skinwalker that is currently stalking our wonderful adventurers, and I'll probably talk about it a bit more while we're drawing because I honestly have nothing else to talk about, really. Does anyone else have those weeks where like your brain just sort of stops working? Because that is me this week. There was a storm at the beginning of the week, and I think it's just, I don't know, maybe it's the phase of the moon or something, but I've been having headaches and brain fog all week, and it's like my brain's just not working. But luckily I work with my hands, so I don't really have to think. But you know, if I'm not as interesting, as immensely entertaining as I normally am, that will be why. And if I end up having a headache later, I'll probably finish stream a bit earlier, but hopefully we'll be alright. I took some medicinal, some healing herbs, ibuprofen, and hopefully that'll see me through. But without further ado, let's have a look at what I've been up to this week. Oh, that's so sweet, Dark Shadow. Thank you. We'll be alright. We'll be alright. I have faith. And here's your lovely boy. Your lovely, lovely boy. I mean, you've already seen him, but I have taken the liberty of lining him. And he... Ooh! I love his little teeth. And I love his flowy little ponytail. I love that he has a little ponytail. My man! Yes. He's a very handsome boy. I love his eye patch. He did have little bolts, but they're covered by his hair. That's okay. So, those of you who haven't seen the sketch, I can bring it up right now. Find the line art. This is what we're going for today. Some sort of... I don't know what the vibe is. It's a happy vibe. It's a nice vibe. In the sunset, backlit, so he's a little bluer, but that's okay because I can just take off the lighting, and there he is with his actual colours. Perfect for colour dropping. The vibe is handsome. Indeed it is. He's very... he gives me such like warm, happy vibes, does Nataz. And that's what I wanted to bring forward here. He just seems like a guy who, despite it all, just keeps on going. finds the good in things, even though he's a little bit mischievous. So I wanted to give him a little happy smile. I don't know if that's accurate, but that's just the sort of vibe that I got for him. Where is my... Oh, why am I low opacity? So here we are. Just colour him in as I usually do. For those who have been here before, you kind of know the process that I go through. It's very slightly different with commissions because I have a very, very... the sketch has to, like, represent what the eventual outcome will be, rather than when I'm just drawing for myself or drawing for fun. I just sort of see where it goes, make it up on the fly. So it's very slightly different, but not too much. I just have to pay a bit more attention with the commission. Plus, he's very adventurous, loves the sea and travel, creating songs and stories. Classic little bard man. He just seems like such a sweetie. I think, if I remember correctly, doesn't he doesn't know how to swim or something? Despite being a little sailor guy. I think that's why I'm so like, oh, look at him. Didn't learn how to swim before he got on a boat. What a buffoon. Yes. Oh, I love stuff like that. So silly. What do you mean you didn't learn how to swim before you got on a boat? So ironic. He loves the sea but can't swim. Oh. You should get someone to teach him in game. That would be fun. Can do like a little scene where where you have to teach him how to swim and he's like flapping about, doggy paddling. He nearly drowned as a kid and he's very awkward with water. Oh, bless. I mean, he's coming out here on the daily, facing his fears. Bless. It would be fun. I love stuff like that between party members and stuff, where they can teach each other stuff. It's just, ugh. I think it's so cute. In the last campaign, I played in my character. He's an elf, but because he died, he sort of just forgot Elven. And then when his new friend discovered that he didn't know Elven, he was gonna teach him Elven, but then they fell out, and then the campaign ended. Yeesh. That was very dramatic. But you know, I think this campaign I'm gonna get, Senna Mirren's gonna ask people to teach her as many swears as they can, different languages. She's basically the Duolingo owl. She wants to know all the languages, but she doesn't want to learn, comprehend languages or anything like that. She wants to do it all herself. Lol. Yeah, last campaign was very, very dramatic, I have to say. This campaign is a lot sillier at the moment, but it's definitely gonna get horrible. If I know my DM, and I know my DM pretty well, it's gonna get horrible. It's gonna get horrible and terrifying. You know, that's what we like to see. A little bit of horror. Especially with our Skinwalker friend. Skinwalker sort of stalking us. Very fun, very fun. Is anyone else here a big fan of horror? Either like horror games or horror films or horror in D&D? Played Nataz twice, once in a campaign that ended after the first session and then a one-shot. Love me some horror. Oh. I have lots of characters like that, where I've only played them for one-shots. Or, for campaigns that fizzled out really, really quickly. Most of my characters have only been played a handful of times. Except for Zafir, my dead bard. No, bard? Elf. God, my brain is not working today. My dead paladin boy. Played him for a year and a half. Actually finished, that was the first campaign that we ever finished fully, that didn't just like fizzle out after 6 to 8 sessions, which is very nice. I have one character, her name is Merilistra, and she is actually Auntie Lalorilla's daughter. She's an Echo Knight, and I've played her for 2 sessions now. 2 different one-shots. He's also been in like a small filler session for the campaign with Frosty. Maybe next filler session should get Frosty to teach him how to swim. I'm sure Frosty does some like where do they like the like polar bear plunges, you know, where they like get into the ice water through little ice swimming and all that. I'm sure he does that. I'm sure he could convince Nataz to do it. I'm sure Nataz wouldn't just immediately drown. Hello, Eleonora. How are you today? Hope you're doing well on this Friday. You had a good week. How's everyone's week been? My week has been very fuzzy. Yeah, they have like a tradition to swim in frozen lakes naked to build up strength. Ugh. Love. That sounds right up. That sounds right up Nataz's street. Chance to see Frosty naked. And then he'll also just have to swim. And then they can huddle for warmth afterwards. It seems perfect. It'll just be perfect for them. Sounds like a very romantic date, I think. Freezing your appendages off. Been good, been crafting lots. Ooh, what you been making? What you been crafting? I've not actually been doing a lot of art this week, aside from commissions. I've been sort of taking a break-ish from personal art this week. Just because of the end of Art Fight, I was very tired, very tuckered out. Just felt like my wrist needed a break. But I have a lot of ideas. I just don't know what to do with them. I have an animation that I'm in progress on. I want to write a bunch of stuff for D&D. I want to make stuff for D&D. Ugh. Well, my character leveled up last week, and she also found a very cool magical coat last week as well, so I updated her little paper doll to show off her little coat. But it's mostly what I've done. Oh, plus the environment piece that I did. Frosty's player had told us about this lake that has colourful rocks at the bottom. It's like a little tile to propose to their loved one, a ritual to propose to their loved ones. Swim in the lakes naked, getting to the bottom to get a stone. Oh my gosh. It's like penguins. That's so cute. Little colourful rock for your lover. Ooh. I love D&D romance so much. I can't wait for things to start off in my campaign. We're still really early doors yet, so no one's vulnerable with each other yet. No one's shared any deep dark secrets really. And it's absolutely killing me. I just cannot wait for people to start getting, like, I don't know, to get deep with each other. Antlers and hoof shoes. D&D group has decided to do a masquerade session and we're all dressing up for it. Oh my god. That sounds amazing. I'm so jealous. That sounds like so much fun. So are you dressing up as a satyr? Antlers and hoof shoes? Got little hoofs? Got little deer satyr hooves or something? And also, the mask, is the mask gonna be like of an animal? If it is, what animal is your character dressing up as? Yes. Like penguins. Like penguins and stones. I really love how his hair is like blowing in the wind. A windswept sailor. Oh, I also had to, for the level up, I also had to draw my spells for my spell book because I'm playing a wizard. And so every spell that goes in my spell book, I've come up with my own way of notating it. And then I've also like drawn the scrolls, like drawn the spells. Which is just such a fucking undertaking. Like, why did I decide to do this to myself? But it's really fun at the same time. I'm just such a huge nerd. Yes, satyr adjacent. I haven't decided on a mask yet. Disco would be an easy out, but perhaps too predictable. Ooh. Yeah, I think it would be a bit too easy. I would go for something... Oh, I don't know. I guess it kind of just depends on the vibe of your character. Like, if they were an animal, what animal would they be? But, like, not a deer. Unless they do act like a deer, I suppose. I love that, that's so creative. Thank you. I can show you what I've got. It's not perfect by any means. It's not exactly, I don't know. I've seen some people online who've come up with like really, really cool ways of notating their spells, like actual wizards, which is just so cool. But, you know, got something going on. I understand how it works. Might not be as intuitive as it should be, but it's okay. Think of that a lot. A lot. Animals are foods that my D&D characters would be. Oh, for sure. That's why it was in it's why my quiz that I had for Art Fight had like a which animal would you be question. Because all of my I've thought about this so much, like what animals my different characters would be. For instance, Zafir, my very, very traumatized paladin who was dead but then was brought back to life. He would be a dog, probably with white fur, so I chose Borzoi, just because they look really sad and lanky and weird. He'd be a dog because, like, no matter how many times he gets hurt by the people he cares about, he will always forgive them. Which is such a sad reason to be a dog. He's also, like, incredibly loyal and protective and all of that, but it's also just, like, dogs are super forgiving. Aww. Used deer in the headlights very literally a few times for her, but haven't put much thought into it otherwise. I mean, yeah, skittish. Skittish deer. She go leaping throughout the woods. I could do like a... I don't know, it'd also like what colour her dress is and things like that, you know? Does it go with the outfit? Deer is pretty good. She just has to have hooves. Could pretend that she's not a satyr and then be like, no, I'm just really good at dressing up. Which I think is a funny prank to play on random people. And no, I'm not a satyr, I just really wanted to dress up. Taz would be either a fox or a snake. Ooh. Cunning. Cunning, a little bit sneaky, a little bit slippery. She's very winter themed. See, I was like what I thought was like a rabbit, because they're very skittish, and then you could have like a snow rabbit or something, like a mountain hare. I'm not a satyr, I just really like the Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe. Mr. Tumnus, oh my god. Iconic though, to be fair. Playing Mr. Tumnus. No, I have played a satyr before. I thought that I was just thinking like, no, I've not played a satyr before. No, I have. I absolutely have. And he was a bard. Because of course he was. Almirage are cute rabbit babies. Oh, they are. The little horns. Little unicorn horns. I do like those. Just like bunny, like D&D bunnies in general. Love a Haran gun. I just love the Fae races. That's what Drift would be if she was an animal. Aww. Kind of fuzzy. I'm not really sure what animal Senemirin would be, to be fair. I often associate her with bats. But that's more of like a... like tied to her gods and stuff, instead of any sort of like thing about her. I think she needs to be something a bit more vicious than a bat. She's quite feral. Like a Tasmanian devil or something? Or like a honey badger? I could see Senemirin as a honey badger. She's really, really clever as well. Just sort of... I don't know, she's a bit of an enigma. Honey badger. Yeah, I'm trying out this new thing. New thing for me, anyway, where I've not really given her like too much backstory for this campaign. Oftentimes I give my characters like quite lengthy backstories that sort of come back to haunt them the whole time. But in this case, I've sort of left it very, very open. She's a lot of her personality and a lot of the trauma is sort of yet to be inflicted. And a lot of things that are very, very integral, would be very, very integral, or should be very, very integral, don't really matter to her right now. So I'm gonna have to figure out how she feels about stuff in real time, because we've only just started. Which is very different for me. It makes things kind of weird, because I don't quite know who exactly she is in certain regards. I know, like, her rough vibe. And her rough vibe is she's just insane. I don't know, she's just a very interesting character to play. She's very chaotic. At the moment she's a lot more reasonable than she should be. But that's just because the rest of the party haven't been getting along. So I didn't really want to antagonize them anymore. But now the party's sort of starting to come together. I think I can start antagonizing them a bit more. I love his little, I don't know, I just love his little face. He looks so cute. Happy smile. Yes, befriend them before you start pranking them. Yeah, I wanted to go straight to the pranks, but I have to befriend them first. And I think initially she was supposed to really not show any sort of interest in getting to know these people, because she has a lot that she's trying to keep under wraps. So it's just easier if she keeps everyone at an arm's length. But then other people were a bit more standoffish. So I was like, oh, what can I do? Please befriend them ASAP. I'm gagging to befriend them. Seno has to. She's gonna do it. I mean, she knows them well enough that she can prank them now. So here we are. Hi. Get a better reaction as friends when you point to the mirror and yell, "It's just a prank." Exactly. No, it's definitely going to be a lot better now that we have something there. We have a foundation. So now I can really start to fuck with that. And Seno Mirren has so many fucking magical items right now that I can do so many pranks because she's a hoarder. Like, she's hoarding. She's hoarding these magical items. So I have many options. Like, I feel bad about it, but at the same time, that's what my character would do. She'll give them back. She gets bored easily, so she'll trade them away eventually. But she's gotta get her hands on them first. She wants to study them. But oh. I've kind of lost what I'm doing. I need to get the sketch up, like. Look forward to that with Nataz. Boy's whole spell thing is illusion, so I can proper mess with people if he's in the mood. For real. Seno's friend, Brannigan, is like, they're like a little duo that just cause trouble all the time. And with their new level up, I've been talking to his player, and it's basically just like, how can we cause the the most trouble? What sort of things can we do to just fuck with people? Not entirely like within the party, like NPCs as well, but you know. I do love illusion spells. One of the main things I've been trying to focus on this campaign is like just doing creative shit with my spells and with my magical items, just to try and like do something new. Because last campaign I played a paladin, and I adore paladin. Don't get me wrong. It is my favorite class. It is the best class, and I will hear nothing else more about it. However, I did sort of find myself just like, why do anything else but Divine Smite when when Divine Smite does so much damage? Paladin, Dark Shadow, you gotta play Paladin. This is Paladin propaganda, and I will always stand by Paladin propaganda because it's just the best class. It's just the best class. My friend is exactly the same with Smite. It's a very yeah, the pitfall with Paladin is that you only have a limited amount of spell slots, and Paladin uses spell slots for Smite. And so every single time you're about to cast a spell, you're like, should I cast Bless or should I just Smite? Should I do anything or should I 4th level Smite? The answer is always 4th level Smite. They just do crazy amounts of damage and it's so satisfying. But you kind of just end up smiting and smiting and smiting, and that's like all you do in combat. We're playing Cleric soon for a new campaign. Oh, I will say Cleric's probably like... Cleric is also like an S tier class. Super versatile. I love a class where you can prepare spells. And they're just really like, they're really good to dip into for multiclassing as well. I'm a bit of a power builder sometimes, so that's why I really like Cleric. I'm playing Paladin in a BG3 right now. Yeah, because Paladin's the best. It's really satisfying in BG3 as well. Like the sound of the Divine Smite in BG3. Oh. It's so satisfying. You really get the sense that you're hitting hard. And that's what Paladins do. Yeah, I haven't played a Cleric yet. Well, I did. I played a Cleric for one session, and then that campaign died sort of instantly. There were far too many people trying to join that campaign, honestly, and then half the people fell out with each other, and it was just like, well, I guess my character's lost in limbo. I guess she'll forever be at the Witchlight Festival. Rip. Never played Cleric before, so I thought, why not give it a try, and I'm very excited. Boy is a sweetheart. Aww. I think I'll probably play a Cleric for our next campaign. That's my plan. Is Cleric or Monk for next campaign, but one of the other players has dibs on Monk. He was like, better not fucking touch Monk. Monk's in my class. So I was like, okay, well, I guess I'll just be Cleric then. And then, I could use Cleric as my backup character for Senno, but I think I'm gonna do Bard. Last character was a Cleric. She was very fun and I miss her sometimes. Oh, what kind of Cleric? There's so many different kinds and they're all really cool. I really like Tempest. but I think that's just the BG3 monster in me coming out, because Tempest Cleric with like any sort of Storm Sorcerer or Evo Wizard or whatever with your lightning and stuff, ugh. It's filthy. Do you recommend you play Monk at some point? They're very fun. I want to play Monk so bad. My character, my Harren Gone character, Dove, was a swashbuckler rogue, drunken monk multi-class, and she was a monster. She was an actual monster, and you know, it's just a good thing that she was only for a one shot, because my word. There's a homebrew subclass Plague domain. Oh, Plague is fun. Is that like a... is it like sickness? Like bubonic plague? Or as in... I don't know why, like an insect plague? Like locusts and stuff? But then again, wouldn't you be... just be like Swarmkeeper Ranger or something? Plague is definitely fun. Is she a cleric that's just like making people sick? Instead of curing them? Wait. That's so funny if it is. Evil cleric. That's what I want to see, actually. I want to see more evil clerics in the world. Clerics always get this sort of rap for being the healers of the party, being so nice and so gentle and sweet. What about a cleric that just wants to fuck shit up? Just wants the world to burn for their god. For their evil, evil god. I'm gonna do plague stuff. Oh my god, I love a plague. Yeah. Love a plague. This bodes well for me. My partner just finished reading like a... I think it's called Between Two Fires. That's a horror book about France during the plague, bubonic plague, and there's horrible little creatures in there. So body horror, so much pus. Ugh. Not for me. I can't deal with that. My cleric is going to be light domain, but because it fits with the two main factions of the world. What? Arabic about France is enough, to be honest. Didn't even need to add the plague. No, so that was the thing. She died of the plague and was eventually brought back by the plague god who wanted her to spread it, but she was conflicted as that's what killed her. Oh. She got infected. Wow, just infecting her with the plague and like sending her out into the world wasn't enough. She had to become a cleric and start spreading the word. The good word of plague. Yeah, that's really fun. That's a really cool idea. Love a good conflict between a god. Yeah, I love gods that are just like, I don't know how to describe it. Brain isn't working. I don't know, I think that's just the fun thing about gods, is that they're like, you give them labels such as good and evil, but to them they're not. To them they're just like doing what they were meant to do. It's sort of as natural as breathing. It's sort of how you wouldn't like blame a tiger for hunting an animal, hunting a zebra. No, that's a lion. Hunting in the jungle and killing creatures, because that's just what they do, isn't it? It's the same thing for gods. They work in mysterious ways. I love when the gods in D&D sort of start puppeting around their followers, and then their followers are like, I don't know, grow some balls, tell them to go suck it, and then you have to deal with those consequences. Thinking they keep the balance. Yeah, exactly. God of mosquitoes over here, like. What do you need that for? It's for balance. Yeah, like the demon princes and all that. Like the gods of undeath and everything. They're like, yeah, it's whatever. If you're gonna have life and death, you need undeath as well. Seems about right. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just rambling. And Taz is coming together before our very eyes. It's really weird doing this on stream because I'm always just yapping and then suddenly it's done. I just completely zone out of what I'm doing. Looking now, I'm so happy I made Nataz green. He's so cute. I love green so much. I love Nataz more. I'm really into drawing green characters at the moment. Because of course I am. I'm playing a half-orc. But they're really awkward to render because green and like pink and red are complementary colors. So you stick in your blush and then suddenly like it's like really hard to get their blush to look natural, but if you don't add it, then they look really flat. So it's very interesting drawing green characters, but I do it so much that I'm like kind of getting the hang of it, I think. Your boy is so handsome, Dark Shadow. I just have to get over it. Look at his face. Flatlining Nataz booty. Who said that about my son? Wow. Drag him. Drag him. He needs to be taken down a peg, honestly. Actually. I'm sure he's too full of himself. That's what it's like with bards. They're all the same. Brazen overconfidence. What I find so difficult about playing a bard. You have to have the confidence that I don't. You have to have the res that I don't. I do not have res. I'm perpetually resless. I usually just play a character who's like, I don't know, a bit awkward about that stuff. To be honest, deep down he's a scared child who hides behind illusions to appear confident. Aren't we all? Aren't we all though? Fake it till you make it type beat. That's very similar to my green girl, to Senno. I find it so hard to play her because I want her to be liked. But she's supposed to be like overconfident in a way that's like actually quite grating. You know, we'll get there. Playing high charisma characters is hard, and yet I can't stop making them. No, for real. I was just about to say, like, I can't not make a high charisma character. That's a lie. Cinnamon has a -2 to charisma. The whole thing with Natasha is he's a big, stinky, pathological liar. This guy? You're telling me this guy is a pathological liar? I could never believe it. This guy? No way. Zeph found his confidence eventually. He did. Bro was the Riz Lord by the end. To be fair, I think it was mostly because Goza was just so head over heels for the man. I don't think he could do anything wrong. Natasha isn't even his real name, girl. He already got you. I know that Natasha's real name is Natasha. Unless it's not Natasha. I got the Riz, you don't. That's so rude. Goza had enough Riz for both of them, to be fair. And then, I mean, then Saf went and started flirting with with Aramis, so yeah, I guess he did find his confidence eventually. Big stinker. Big fuckboy towards the end. It's alright. No, it is Natasha, so you know more than most people. Yeah, I remember these things. I remember the first discussion we had about Nataz. I'm just being very respectful. This is his chosen name. If he wants to go by Natasha, I can call him that. But, you know. Gosh, I just love hearing about different people's characters. I have a spreadsheet of all of the commissions that I've done. All of the characters that I've done for all the commissions that I've done. I've made a note of how many characters of each race I've done and what classes they were, if they were told to me. So many humans. People are so boring. so many humans. But then I think the next most common I get is Tiefling. And then humans, Tieflings. I've done a lot of changelings as well, which is really interesting because like I'm not drawing all their forms. They just look like a regular guy, and I'm just told that they're a changeling, which I think is really funny. If I've had like 3 family portraits from you and they've all been humans. Yeah. Your last family portrait has definitely swayed those numbers. I was just like 5 humans and a dragon for that one. Definitely pushing up the numbers. Human is default. Yeah, and inflating the numbers also is that like not everyone is commissioning me for like D&D and like for the Forgotten Realms and all of that as well. Like sometimes they're playing in settings that don't have fantasy races and stuff, so of course they're gonna play human. Yeah, I forgot about that one. Yeah, I just had to remind you because I've still not finished it, but it's on the brain. It's one of the very few that I've got going right now. I'll get around to it shortly. But today I wanted to do a little easy peasy one because at least with a bust commission I can get it like mostly done by the end of stream. Yeah, I'll take your time with the nice customers. Yeah, I'll take my time with the customers that don't bully me in game. But yeah, another interesting thing that I know from my spreadsheet is that I mostly get warlocks. I'm mostly given warlocks to do. But the other interesting thing is that most of these warlocks are multi-classed. People be multi-classing into warlock constantly, and it's really inflating the numbers. I think the class I've gotten the most of that haven't been multi-classed is either Paladin or Bard. I get a lot of Tiefling Bards and a lot of Changeling Bards. Like a lot, like that's like most of what I get. I cannot deny the multi-class allegations. Yeah. I've only done 2 or 3 monks, and all of those monks were multi-class as well. They were a barbarian monk and like a rogue monk. I think I had one that was like a rogue monk warlock, which is a wild build. Because you need high dex, high whiz, and high charisma to pull that off. That's a lot. I think Warlock is a really fun multi-class to do, because it's like... Because I mean, if your character just like makes a pact with someone during your campaign, then of course you become a Warlock. Sorry for adding another Tiefling Bard to that list. Does he help that he's multi-class as Swashbuckler Rogue? It does, because Swashbuckler Rogue is my favorite my favorite rogue subclass by far. Love Swashbuckler Rogue. My current BG3 playthrough, I have not my like main character, because my main character is Jack of all trades. Challenge run, but my favorite companion, who is just a custom companion that I made, Swashbuckler Rogue. And my god, he carries. He absolutely carries. Stealth archers just like rogues just carry in all games, but I find them so funny to play like in D&D. If you're gonna multi-class your current D&D girl, what would be your top 3 options? Rogue immediately springs to mind. That would be... I can't really imagine her like multi-classing into anything else other than Rogue, because like maybe Artificer, but I don't like Artificer, so I don't want to play an Artificer. But she does like... she is really into magical items, so I mean being able to make a magical item would be very much up her alley, but I personally don't want to play an Artificer. I'm biased against them. Don't like them. So that's probably out. But Rogue for sure. Like proper skill monkey. Like she would just love to have expertise in Arcana, and she's quite roguish herself. And then a lot of other things are sort of off limits to her, because she doesn't have super high wisdom and she doesn't have a super high charisma either. Like at all. I don't think she can multi-class into a lot of stuff, because she doesn't have 13. She doesn't have 13 in wisdom or charisma. So it'd literally just be like rogue, I think, probably. I think ideally maybe she could do like a... She wouldn't do druid. She doesn't like druids. She could be like some sort of weird like fucked up cleric, but again she's kind of like... she's got like a whole bias against magic that doesn't come from like within, from her own skill. So it would really just have to be like a physical multi-class. I had one character that was a full warlock. Yes, she was a tiefling, and her pact was her marriage to her archfey patron. Oh, that's so cute. Or it could be kind of weird. Definitely depends on the vibe of that wedding. But it sounds nice. It sounds like she was up for it. Doesn't sound like an arranged marriage to me. God, I'm fumbling. I have an Artificer character, but I've hardly had the time to use him. I don't get Artificer. I just don't get it. Maybe I just hate things that I don't understand. Maybe I'm one of those people. Although I do have intentions to play Artificer for this one-shot that my friend is planning. It's like a Fae one-shot. And my plan for my character for that one is to do a kobold, like Wild West kobold, who has a mechanical boar, and like he's like a cowboy, and he has a gun, because of course he does. And he speaks in a southern accent. Sort of thing. It was all very consensual, yes. Oh, that's good. That's nice. Husband, give me your name. Code. Why? Why do you want it so bad? So I can give you mine. It's very fair. Give me your name. That's a very cute subversion of expectations. It's a trading of names. It's not, you know. It's an equal exchange of names. There's no power over anyone, yeah. Kobold. I just recently got a commission for a kobold, actually, like yesterday. My first one. My first kobold commission, so it gets to be number 1 on my spreadsheet. Kobold commission. I would be more nervous about it, but one of my characters is a dragonborn. And what is a kobold, if not just a little dragonborn? Oh bless. It's been 3 years since we ended that campaign, and I still haven't told the rest of the players what her wife's name was because I had so much fun dancing around it. Secrets. I cannot keep that sort of secret. Ugh. I just love to talk about my characters way too much. I can't keep anything a secret. It's really hard. Don't like it. I just want everyone to know everything about my characters already. But I can't say. Because the reveal is way more fun if it's like built up, you know? But it is killing me. So I don't know how you manage that, Eleonora. I'm amazing at keeping secrets this campaign. Yeah. It's been hard. And I also feel like I've not been the greatest at it. Senna Mirren has been way more forthcoming than I imagined her being. But at the same time, everyone else is so not forthcoming that I feel like someone has to give something. Otherwise we're never gonna get along. So there we go. Just got Xano trying to find common ground with everyone. That's a mood. I'm keeping a lot of my character stuff quiet, so I'm bottling it all up. I know. It's the other terrible thing about it is because everyone, like, my group knows me and follows me on social media, so I can't even just tell strangers about it because they might find it. I can't talk to anyone about it. It's killing me. I just have to write it all down in a little diary. A little gremlin. The worst. It will explode one day. No, for real. There were so many times in Zaf's campaign where, like, all of the roleplay decisions that I made with that character, like, had a lot of thought behind each thing. Like, there was a plethora of reasons behind every single thing that he did, and I wanted to explain it so fucking bad, but I just couldn't. Like, it just, like, I just wanted to tell everyone everything so that I can be like, this is why he does this, this is why he does this. And still to this day, I don't think many of them know, like, the extent, like, how much I thought about every single aspect of roleplay with that character. I have a designated friend outside of my D&D circle that gets all my yapping. Oh, I wish I had one of those. I wish I had friends. My main circle of friends is also my D&D group. And then the friends that I have outside of D&D, like, don't play D&D, so they don't get it. I wish I had that too, yeah. And again, like, I just talk to you guys about it, but my D&D group might stumble upon my VODs or something, and then they might just hear me blathering all about my secrets. Can't be having that. I think it's just because we all get so excited about our characters. We think about them all the time. I can't stop thinking about my characters, like, ever. Always, like, imagining different scenarios that they might be in. Imagining, like, oh, what's gonna happen when this comes out? What's gonna happen when they discover this? And, like, oh, how's this interaction gonna go? And then I just have to wait and wait and wait for it to happen. And then 9 times out of 10, it does not happen the way that I imagined it happening. And so I'm completely thrown. And then I fuck it up. And I play it wrong. You know, that's the fun of it. Real, yeah. I'm sure we all have things like that. We imagine this scene playing out in just such a completely different way to the way that it does. Okay, bye. So I went with my lycanthrope character. What with, like, hiding the transformation. What sort of lycanthrope were they? Were they like a werewolf? Or were they like someone else? A werebear? Or I got a commission for a were displacer beast, which is super funky. Kind of. The whole thing was that he didn't know he was infected. He's a werebear. Oh, that's fun. So even he didn't know. That's so funny. Was it like super dramatic when everyone found out? Was it like a full moon, like attack? I've not really been paying attention to how he's coming along. He looks alright. Every time he changed and came to the next day, he'd be wandering the woods naked and covered in blood, and he's like, huh, guess I got drunk and went hunting deer again. Oh. So he was just like, yeah, this is normal. That's so funny. I can't wait for the reveal that it was my character who killed this noble woman that there's been rumors about for months that I actively denied during the very first session. Oh, that's gonna be so dramatic. That's gonna be so fun, oh my god. The thing about stuff like that as well is that, like, it might cause PvP, which is super sketch, super scary, but also really fun. I love PvP. But it's also very, like, you have to have a really good, like, reputation with your party, otherwise they might just, like, throw you out. Like, in-game. And we got into a fight with a powerful warlock who liked to mess with people, casted a spell that gave a moon effect that forced him to transform and attack the monsters and the other players. Whoa, that's so cool. So bro just kind of got like outed and he had to attack everyone. That's so cool. That's so sad though. Sad for him. Let's put in his little purple eye. I think it's fun when they have that don't have irises or pupils or anything. He was freaking out after, and sadly everyone was so chill about it, kind of ruined the whole mood. Web views aren't common, so should have been more of a worrying shock. Oh, that's so disappointing. Like, I mean, like it's like, okay, nice that it was chill, but it's supposed to be like a huge thing. That would be a bit of a bummer. Especially because your character's so like, oh my god! You know, like freaking out about it. And everyone's like, what? It's chill. Like, don't even worry about it. She didn't want to kill this noble woman, to be clear. She got possessed by the thing that had been guiding the party this whole time and was basically told her to comply or it will happen again. Whoa. So like, ooh. I love stuff like that. I love when characters are like controlled by forces outside of their control. I don't know what I'm saying. Can you tell that I'm like super frazzled today? My brain's just like so... Ugh. I'm not as eloquent as I usually am. But I'm sure you guys will forgive me. Ruined his honeymoon? My poor boy. Oh, bless. Poor guy. Just got married and then turned into a werebear. How is your head? No headache yet. Yeah, no complaints currently. I had like crazy brain fog this week. We had this storm. I think it's just, I don't know, there's something in the air that's just fucking with me. I'm usually the main note taker of the campaign. I woke up on Monday morning to write the notes for our session, and I just could not, for the life of me, remember what happened like a day before. It was crazy. I was like, what the fuck? So then I have loads of segments in the notes themselves being like, someone else fill this in, please. My party don't tend to get involved with my notes. They just sort of allow me to do all the note taking, which is fine. I enjoy it, but it's, you know, when I don't remember stuff, it means that no one remembers stuff. If you get better sooner, it doesn't stay long. Thank you. Yeah, hopefully my brain just sort of fixes itself. But yeah, I mean, I'm having a good time, as I always do on stream. It's just, I'm just fumbling over my words today. Happens to the best of us. Ugh, that's the worst. It's really always, it's like it's always down to me to like remember stuff sometimes. So, you know, it feels very often like it's down to me to remember stuff. At least until like one of our other players joined. He's like super good at taking notes as well, so takes some of the pressure off of me. But usually it's like if if two people can't remember what happened, or they like have different opinions on what happened, they always turn to me. Because I'm like the memory machine or some shit like that. Not this week. Not this week. That'd be me with my dark fantasy characters. My boy's known for his perfect memory. Ugh, it's a fun place to be. I like remembering stuff, but it's stressful. It's stressful when you get it wrong. But I never get it wrong because I have perfect memory. I can't imagine playing a character. No, I can. I can imagine, because you just have to take a lot of notes, don't you? Just have to be really on top of stuff. Keen mind feat with some add-ons. Mwah, mwah. Love it. Ugh, I do like the keen mind feat. I'm thinking of taking linguist my next feat. Just because I think it'll be fun to know more languages. I'm trying to get by without any utility spells, really. As few as possible, anyway. Just because it'd be fun. I'm trying to take like a bunch of spells that I've never taken before, which means that a lot of the very classic spells, especially for wizards and stuff, I'm not taking. So identify, comprehend languages, detect magic, dispel magic, silvery barbs, shield, mirror image, misty step, blur, like all of those I'm not taking. Like I'm only taking really weird spells because I just think it'd be more of a challenge, but that does mean that I have to just do everything myself. Take very loose notes. I tried to take better notes, but even in school it was rough. Yeah. I get a bit carried away in the notes sometimes. I get all like descriptive with it. I'm terrible at taking notes during the session though. Which is what I mean when I'm like really relying on my memory, because I hardly take any notes during the session. I just rely on like what I remember when I'm writing the notes for everyone the next day. So, you know, and everyone just trusts me to get it right. That's crazy. I could be writing the most baffling shit, and everyone would be like, yeah, I'm sure that's how it happened. Which is really funny. He gave me that much power. Usually I'm very on top of it though. I'm a slow typer and I'm terrible at spelling, so I struggle to write under pressure when they're moving on quickly. Yeah, exactly. And like, I just find that it takes me out of the moment if I'm writing stuff down. I find that I'm not really immersed in the moment. I'm not really focused on the roleplay if I'm writing everything down. And often I am speaking because I just be yapping all the time. Which means that I'm definitely not taking notes. Like if I'm involved in the scene, I'm definitely not taking notes because I'm talking and I'm paying attention to what people said. That does mean I don't have any notes. But I'm just one of those like, I'm one of those crazy people who only really needs to hear or write something down like once or twice to commit it to memory. At my first job, everyone was like, oh my god, you're such a dream to train. I just need to tell you how to do something once and you just do it. Yeah. I mean, this is easy. I just remember it. Don't even... I guess that's my minor superpower. Because it's not strong enough to actually be like photographic memory or anything like that. It's not strong enough to be a superpower. But it's like, you know, like a minor superpower. Does anyone else have something like that? Something that they're like really mildly good at? Like a little party trick that they have. It's like definitely not good enough to ever be a superpower. Like a discount bin superpower. Super auntie. Yeah, I've got the power of okay memory. Not photographic memory. It's just pretty okay. Unless Mercury's in retrograde or whatever's going on right now. That's making me super loopy poopy at the moment. At least I don't need to use my brain for my art. Let's look at that. Look at this little guy. He's coming together. I love his like top half green, bottom half really dark. It's nice. Honestly, don't know. Of poor memory unless it's a hyperfixation. No, that's so real. I don't tend to hyperfixate on stuff too much. The worst one was Baldur's Gate, for sure. When I got Baldur's Gate, I did nothing but play it for weeks. I got like, I have like 900, almost 1,000 hours in the game, and literally 800 of those hours I got in the first like few months of having the game. It was crazy. It's all I did was play this fucking game all day, every day for weeks. I played a playthrough, and then I played another playthrough, and then I played another playthrough. I think I got to my like, it's like the third time I reached Act 3 in a row that I was like, okay, now I'm done. But for a while I knew like everything about the game. I knew where all of the good loot was, I knew all of the power builds, I knew all of the skips, everything like that. I don't know shit about it anymore. It's all just sort of exercised itself out of my brain now, I think. I still got some good power builds in there, but some of the particulars are lost to me. Like where to find specific items and stuff like that. I think that's my worst hyperfixation that I've ever had. When you think of any other hyperfixations that I ever have had, to be fair. It's like my only one. But it was bad enough that I would call it that. I don't like the way I've done his hair. These sort of like ribbons. Shines of green. Brush feels a little bit weird. I think the settings have changed for some reason, but I don't know, it's working. Oh, he's so handsome. Pinch his cheeks. He does have very pinchable cheeks. I love his little blush. He's so handsome. Does he wear eyeliner? I feel like he should. I feel like I might put some on him. I just feel like he needs a little bit of darkness around his eyes. to show off his little, you know, his lies. So he's not all sunshines and rainbows. He's also a little bit of a fuckboy. He's a bit of a pathological liar. The darkness around his eyes. Whether or not he's wearing eyeliner, it's just a bit darker. He's so cute. So cute. He'd so wear makeup. For sure. Like the, you have like the kohl eyeliner. Like the sort of smudge stick type beat. I think that would be nice for him. Giving him quite like a chiseled chin, if that's alright. I'm sure he'd be fond of it. Let's do his little ponytail. I love his hair flowing in the wind. Look at all this movement. She's so fun. This isn't normally the way I do busts. It's not the way that I have them set up on my Ko-fi or Ko-fi or whatever. Which I think is funny. His long hair. It is very I love guys with long hair. Especially for fantasy. I don't know, I think this, like, guys in real life just don't have very many options. So it's fun. It's fun to give them quirky hairstyles in fantasy. Yeah, with my, really funny, with my commissions, originally, I had them set up so that they, like, didn't have a background at all. And I was supposed to just be doing, like, just the characters in their little void. Kind of the way that I do my own characters. Let's see if I can find them. I have many. I just want to find, like, an example. Used... Use Athos and Tamriel as an example. So like this is what I was like when I set up my commissions. I was like, oh yes, this is my full body commission. This is what it's gonna look like. And then I got commissioned, and I was like, no, I gotta put a background on this. And I just immediately got carried away, and I gave them like a really funky little pose, and I gave them like a proper little background and stuff. And so now that's just like, now that's just the way I do all of my commissions, is I just give them little backgrounds. And the only ones that kept that sort of void were the bust commissions. But then I got one bust commission that was like, hey, can you like frame it like a portrait instead of just having them sort of floating? And I was like, yeah, absolutely. And then Art Fight happened, and I was doing busts in sort of this style, and now that's just the way I do them. I just get so carried away. Because sometimes I meet character and I'm like, I know exactly where to put you, and so I put them there. And now here we are. I really need to update my page to show off some of my more recent examples of commissions. Because the ones I have up are like a year old now. They're way out of date. done a lot of improving since those pieces. I meet character, I gently hold. Yeah. I love when people give me their characters like backstories and the sort of like their Pinterest boards and stuff. I love it. And it's really helpful for me because I can quite oft get a decent grasp of the character and their vibe that way. And I can put them in a funky little scenario. My default is just like dusk. I usually just put them in a sort of dusky sky and there's a few stars and stuff. That's sort of my default, but you get something else than that, that means that I've found something funky with your character that I want to lean on. Ooh. what's the ooh? What's the ooh? As pinboard is a lot of keys. Keys? As in like under lock and key, as in a key to a chest? Why has he got so many keys? I haven't looked at his pinboard in ages. No. I did make one for Sun and Mirren, but I always make them on a different account to the one that I mainly use. So I never look at them. I just make the Pinterest boards and then I'm just like, yeah, whatever. That's good enough. And I just ignore it the rest of time. Kind of. It's backstory stuff me and DM have been working on. He was secretly a locksmith. He was a locksmith before he ran away to set sail. That's what I think. A lot of keys and sea monsters. Oh yeah, ugh. Getting to see other people's character mood boards and playlists is ugh. Absolutely. It's just so much fun. It's just so much fun when people send me that stuff. And then they're like, oh, I hope this isn't too much information. I hope this is helpful. And I'm like, listen, even if it's not helpful, it's fun to read. It's fun to learn about your characters. Because everyone's characters are so unique and different. But also sometimes they're really similar, and I find that really funny. You have the classic, the classic tropes. But then you have people who got classic tropes, but they've put their own spin on it, and it's just like, yes. It's fun making the playlists and such. Yeah, absolutely. I have playlists for almost every single character that I've ever made. Even the one-shot characters. And sometimes I think about, like, oh, it'd be kind of funky to, like, upload them to YouTube. Do, like, little YouTube uploads of my playlists. At the same time, I'm like, I mean, would anyone watch that? Because it's not like they know my character. But it would also be fun. Just to do it. And it's not like I'm monetized or anything, so it's not like I have to worry about copyright, really. Thousands playlist of songs he'd sing, since I can't sing myself. Oh yeah, that's such a fair point. Like, with your playlists and stuff, do you make them, like, are they made of songs that your characters would listen to, or are they songs that represent your character? Or are they a mix of both? It's no, like, give me more, I love it. Absolutely. Don't be bashful about all the information you're giving me. Info dump, girl. I want to hear all of it. Somehow I always end up with long ass playlists, but I can't just get rid of them. Songs that represent my character. No, that's so real, Eleonora. With Zafir, he ended up with such a long playlist that I ended up splitting it into 4 different playlists. because also the vibes were completely different. Because I ended up having this like massive mega playlist with songs on it that were like songs that were really angry and traumatized for when he was committing vengeance, and then he had songs about being in love because he was in a romance, and then he had like really sad songs that just mostly represented him at a default, and then he had like, I don't know, to me, love playlists. Yeah, so then I 9 hours long. Oh my god. I've never had a playlist that long. Christ. I think maybe combined my Zafir playlists might add up to that. But they also have a lot of duplicate songs on them. It's just I needed to split them up because the vibes became so different. And I would be listening to his playlist in preparation for like a session, but then the playlist would like put me in the mood for vengeance, but that's not what we were doing that week. Like, Zafir's not supposed to be angry this week, he's supposed to be really, really sad and like crashing out, so I need to put on the really, really sad crashing out Zafir playlist. Not the not the vengeance playlist, really angry, I'm gonna fight everyone playlist, you know. A lot of it is his voice claim. My Dark Fantasy voice playlist is 12 hours long. Oh my word. That's crazy. That's really long. That must just be like such a hodgepodge. Must be like whole albums on there. I think Senate Mirren's playlist is only 2.5 hours long, I think. I try and cut them down. Because if I add a bunch of songs and then I realize that certain songs don't really represent her that well anymore, I make sure to cut them down. Often I just find myself sort of going through the like suggested songs. And that's mostly how I find new music nowadays. It's going through the suggested songs under my characters' playlists. There's just so many songs I love. That's fair. Okay, so it sounds like mine are on the shorter end actually. Current one is only 5 hours. Yeah, that's a reasonable amount of time, Eleonora. I don't know what Dark Shadow is doing. It's crazy. Crazy work. I'm actually really curious now. I have to go and check. Okay, Senate Mirren's is 3 hours 46 minutes long. Which, okay, is a bit longer than I expected it to be. Zafir's playlists, 2 hours 44, 1 hour 47, so that's like 3 hours 20. No, 4 hours 20. 2 hours 15 minutes. So 6 hours 45. 1 hour 30. So 7 hours. 7 hours and like 7.25 hours. All of Zaf's songs together. There are some duplicates in there, so probably a little bit less than that, but okay, that's quite long. That's crazy. I listen to a lot of music. I think I just listen to a lot of the same music again and again. But also I don't know, I get quite picky about what songs I put on what playlist. So quite often I just find that I don't have enough songs to put on a character's playlist. To bring it over like 2 hours. That The Horror in the Wild. Oh my god, I've got that one on Zaps. That's his voice claim. Oh my god. Nataz, as if you couldn't get any more handsome. God, what's his name? Is it Joey? Mr. Yaskir from... Mr. Yaskir from... Witcher. Mr. The Amazing Devil. What's your name? Joey Beatty. That's what I thought it was. Damn, so we got green Joey Beatty up in here. Slow. It's your eye patch. Now, why does Natasha wear an eye patch? Did he lose his eye? Is he wearing it just to look like a pirate? Is he wearing it for actual like pirate reasons? Like how they used to wear it to go under the deck and their eyes could adjust quickly, sort of thing. Well, funny story. Oh, here we go. Waiting with bated breath. Look at this little eye patch. This little guy. There's something about his eye that's really throwing me off. So I'm gonna have to go back and fix that, but... yeah. Maybe I'll fix it when I'm paying more attention. Got like 20 minutes. Perhaps let's put in... me nab his background. See, what I tend to do is I tend to sketch out the background and such, and like the lighting. And then I just take it directly from the sketch. And then I just sort of fix it up and make it look nice. Ooh! Look at that. Got some pearly whites. It's fun. I like this. It's lighting. He made up a story about getting into a fight with a monster, and then the story he loses his eye. Because it was a very popular story, he wears the eye patch to make it more believable for more gold. That is a funny story. Oh my gosh. That's so fun. I love that for him. So his eye is perfectly fine. Oh. That's so fun. That seems like something that Brannigan would do. There's I don't know. Brannigan and Nataz would probably get on pretty well. They're both tail spinners, is the nice way that I would put it. AKA they're fucking liars. Pop off, King. Sometimes if he gets drunk enough he forgets which eye it's meant to be. That's funny. Has anyone called him out for it? Or is he just really, like, he's just so good at lying that actually it's fine? Damn, King. Who got you smiling like that? Rusty. Ugh. I love tieflings so much. So they're so fit. Not yet, he's just really good at backtracking. God. Should all be a bit more like Natasha, like there. It's the king of improv. You can just pull it off, don't worry about it. Don't even worry. Bro could fly his way out of anything. Hell yeah. Damn. Look at this boy. Looks so tasty. He definitely needs a lot more work. Definitely need to deepen the shadows and such. I'm just not paying a lot of attention today. As you know, he's coming along really well, considering. Things considered. He just looks pretty unfinished right now. So get him looking real nice. Before I'll call him finished. But so much as that you're so yummy. Thank you. I'm very happy with where my style's at the moment. To me, it doesn't even really feel like a style. Like it feels like the default of art. But I know that that's not the case. Like I know that I definitely have a style. It just feels so natural to me to draw things like this. You like it? It just feels like my brand now. Style is gorgeous. Thank you. So sweet. Definitely put a lot of time into it. I'm glad that I'm glad that I finally gotten to a point where like I'm actually sort of happy with my style, because it took like I've been doing art so much. Like, I've been doing art seriously for a decade. And it's only within the last like 2 years that I finally gotten to a point that it's like I feel like I have a style, and this style is like, I don't know, like it's mine. It's not just like I'm stylizing for the sake of it, if you know what I mean. It just feels like the default way to draw at this point, which is really nice. And I love looking at other people's styles as well. I think your art is really nice, Dark Shadow, as well. And yours, Eleonora. I think that's one of the things I really enjoyed about Art Fight as well. It's just to see how different everyone's style is. It sort of reminded me that, oh yeah, I do have a style. Look at that. No. We're all so supportive here in this chat. It's so nice. I love his little fangs, they're so cute. I also tend to give tieflings like split tongues, forked tongues. It's just a personal thing that I do. Don't know if anyone else does it. The devil. Yeah, this eye definitely needs to change. I don't know what's wrong with it. I'll have to look at it with fresh eyes tomorrow. But, or maybe on Monday. We'll see how we go. He's looking nice. Speaking of art fight, I saw you got dice for Zafir. Yeah, I did. I was very lucky. I really need to message that person to see if I can like have them in real life because they are so beautiful. I need them. I need to own them. But when I messaged them on Artfight, they didn't mention sending it. So I was like, I'm also waiting for the Talia dice and the T person to get back to me as well, because they both said that they would send me stuff. But we haven't organized things yet, and I don't want to bother them. I don't want to be like, ooh. I want to be like, ooh, like, send me things, you know, because they might be busy, and you know, it's for art fight. Obviously, I'll pay for whatever I need to pay for to get them to me. Greedy about it, but I want them. I want these dice. They are so beautiful. Give them to me. Also, my partner is respond better on Insta. Yeah, I might message them on Insta. My partner's getting into dice making as well, which is gonna be really fun for me. I'm gonna make myself some Senemirin dice, I think, because she has so much going on that I can't find any dice for the life of me that encapsulate her. So I'd either have to get them commissioned, or now I can make them myself, which is super fun. Speaking of Senemirin, since we have 10 minutes left, and I'm pretty happy with where our lovely boy Nataz is at, for now. He's still got a long way to go, but I need more focus, I think, in order to pull it off. I think I'll show you guys Senemirin's character sheet, because it's got her scrolls on it, stuff. So I can show you guys what I drew for that. If you guys want to see. Sure what the best way of showing you guys is. There you go. It's a bit blinding. This is on Canva, which is where I make my character sheets. So this is like the front cover. Like, this is gonna be really scuffed because I don't have it in like PDF form at the moment because I just sort of like fixed it up. So yeah, this is the front cover. The inscription on the front says Throne of the Wind, which is like related to where she's from. This is like an old spell book that she found and she made it her own. So here is her main character sheet. So I've got her stats over here. Her AC is 16 at the moment because she's got mage armor on. Half orc, her speed, name, her birthday, her sign, her skills. She's got 20 HP because she's level 3. And at the moment she's got some like she's got some shit going on because camping didn't go too well for her. But yeah, there's her little face. Oh, she's so cute. I got her features over here. Just evocation stuff. Our feats are rewritten homebrew, so they're a lot stronger than they are like rules as written. Love this. This is so much detail. Oh, I do this to like all my characters. I can show you Zafir's and Talia's as well if you want. Here's her inventory. She's got like a lot of she's got a lot of magical items. I won't linger too long just in case people look. Here's her like main spell sheet. It's pretty bare at the moment because I've left a lot of space for other spells to come in. But yeah, this is her spell slot. She's used one first level spell slot for mage armor at the moment. Yeah, and we've got some homebrew spells in here, but she recently took second level spells. She took levitate, which is gonna be really fun. And then I've got the rules of my spell book here, just so I have them, because I always forget things such as you can cast ritual spells from your spell book without preparing them, which I always forget, which is fun, and like how long it takes to replace the book or copy the book and all of that. All the spells I've got in my spell book. And then here's my spell notation system that I came up with myself. So this is getting pretty nerdy now. So I have these are the runes for the schools of magic over here, and that's what they look like in their like pretty form. And then here we have like the sort of simplified form of them. And so that means that like at a glance you can see what school of magic each spell is, and then these circles have like denote what they do. So here you have the cast time. So this is for magic missile. So you have the cast time, which is an action, so it's got like a little A. The duration is it's instantaneous, and that's a symbol for instantaneous. This is the range. I've kind of done it wrong, but each of these little marks denotes like 10 feet or 30 feet, depending on the size of the marks. And then here we've got the damage type, and this is force damage. We've got some other symbols. So for a range of touch, it looks like a little hand. For a range of self, it's just a dot. Concentration spell has a little like a C in it, and then there's little extra lines for like hours, and they've got dots for minutes, which I haven't put in here, but and then you have like the numbers, so you also have like how long it casts, if it takes like a minute to cast or whatever. It's like, yeah. It was really fun to come up with, and like I know how it works. I can look at my spells, because I've not got them written down, like how much it takes to do stuff. Like I actually use these notations to actually know how long it takes to cast something, and whether it's a concentration spell or not, and the range of it and stuff. So yeah. So I have my little cantrips here. Dancing lights. They look like bog lanternflies, which are like the little firefly things. That's why Senna Mirren has so many fireflies. We've got Mage Hand. Firebolt. She loves Firebolt. Her Firebolt, these are also like kind of how the spells look when she casts them as well. So her Mage Hand is green. Her Firebolt is sort of yellow and multicolored. She's got Burning Hands. Magic Missile. I really like the way that I did Magic Missile. I like the twirlies. I think that's fun. We've got Witch Bolt. So she's got the sort of lightning coming out. Her red and white lightning with her little twig, because the material component is a twig from a tree struck by lightning. Just think that's fun. Then we've got Darting Duplicate, which is a homebrew spell. Disguise Self. Tasha's Hideous Laughter. This one I'm kind of like, it's whatever. But I do have some jokes written down for her to tell. I'm waiting to cast Tasha's Hideous Laughter, because I think it's just going to be really fun. Snare. Mage Armor. Levitate. And then Polar Burst, which is another homebrew spell. Yeah. There's some other stuff below this, but I can't show it because it would be, you know, it would be spoilers for other people if they saw them. Imagine how hard it would be to find a stick slash twig that's been hit by lightning. I know. Some of these material components are crazy. Like the Tasha's Hideous Laughter, you need like a feather or like a tart or something, which is so goofy. I've not written down what levitate takes, but I'm pretty sure it also takes like a feather or something. But yeah. There's so much detail, thank you. So yeah, like you got like, it's an action, it's 30 feet, it's concentration, it's lightning, you know, you can get that. So yeah, it's cool. And the reason why it looks really like scrapbooky is because this is not originally her spell book, so she's had to fix it from where it's falling apart, and she's had to stick her own shit on top of it. So yeah. Let me get Zaphir's character sheet up, because I think his character sheet is really fun as well. It's a lot fuller. It's a lot more jam-packed, I have to say, but it's very different. I want it to take up the whole screen, but yeah. So this is Zaphir's character sheet. Just notebook is just a Google Doc. Yeah, I usually keep. I used to keep my character sheets on a Google Doc, but I tend to have to be able to see everything at once, otherwise I just like forget what I can do, especially with a character like Zaphir who had so many options. Oh, I started choking. But yeah, so his is a lot more jam-packed because I sort of made it halfway through, or like 3/4 of the way through. So yeah, this is his like main thing. He's got his stats: 20 dex, 18 charisma, 20 AC. Ugh, time flies. He had so many things. I had this little like party's opinions tab, which is really fun to keep track of, especially when he started like falling out with people and like breaking up with people and getting back together with people. It's really funny. And I also had like a currently feeling tab because he was always going through the motions. I really needed to keep on top of like where I left him off because so much shit happened all the time. It was insane. So I literally needed like a thing to keep track of how he felt because he was always crashing out. And you have his features. He had so fucking many because he was a sorcerer as well as a paladin. So he had all of his paladin stuff plus all of his sorcerer stuff. Plus he had a bunch of different feats because he was given feats and all of this, and he had even more feats because he had abilities from his equipment. He had abilities from being religious. He had a mount because he's a paladin. And he had his spells. The spells tab for him, it looks so much different to Senemirin's because his paladin spells were prepared. So I would just keep the paladin tab up. But then he also had a bunch of sorcerer spells that he learnt, so I just wrote them down because they were all in completely different places. It was just really annoying to put them together. So yeah. He also had this little like roleplay tab where I had a little like timeline of his life, which is fun. Had sort of memory lane and some stuff that I didn't really like keep on top of, but it was fun to make. the tenets of being a paladin is something to keep in mind, so I didn't break my oath accidentally. But yeah, he was level 13 when we ended the campaign, so he had like a lot of shit going on, which is really fun. And then, wait, let me show you Talia's, just because it's again, it's really different to the other two, because I think it's fun. Here's Talia's. She's got this pretty pink one. There's just swords all over it. Hers is a little bit looser, again, because she was just a one-shot character, so I didn't need to put like that much into it. Got Talia. Yeah, she's so pink and she's got all these swords everywhere and like, we got her features and we got like a full body of her. I really like this page. I think this is fun. I love her so much. She's so much fun. She had a couple of really interesting items and she was just like full hexblade, I think, so she didn't have as much going on, and she was a level 7. So she had half as much going on. And then this spellcasting page is like completely different again, because she was a warlock, so she only had 2 spell slots to keep track of. And she only had a certain amount of spells, so I just wrote out all of her spells, so I could see them all in one place. And then, just had her cantrips and everything. It was funky. And they had her roleplay, all of her backstory, and then some notes, but I didn't actually write them at the time. So yeah, those are my 3 character sheets. I sort of accidentally started a trend amongst my D&D group because we had a body swap session, and so I ended up having to send the character sheet to everyone, and so everyone saw Zaf's character sheet and they were like, oh, this is so cool, and now for this campaign everyone has a custom character sheet, I think. Almost everyone, which is really fun. Not to say that I'm just like revolutionary and the greatest D&D player of all time, but I'm pretty close. Yes, thank you for sitting through me showing off my custom character sheets, because I love to make them and they are really fun. Stop, Dark Shadow. Stop. Gonna make me blush. I'm certainly not. I can only dream of being like Emily Axford. I think she's who I dream to be. But yeah, oh my gosh, it's past 10 o'clock. And here I was at the beginning of this stream thinking, I'm not sure if I'm gonna make it through. I did. Blush, I dare you. Stop, you're gonna make Uncle Lolorilla jealous. Can't be doing all that. I'm just kidding. Yes, okay, so I guess I'll wrap it up, because it's late. It's late. It's time to go to bed, I think. For me, at least. Thank you for hanging out with me, guys. Thank you for putting up with my rambling and stuttering and not really making much sense. Because my brain's just not in it today. But yeah, I hope you guys had fun. I certainly did. And yeah, same time next week. I think I'll do some more art next week. Different commission maybe. We'll see what I'm working on. Thank you, Dark Shadow. Yeah. Well, take care of yourselves. you guys. Thank you, Eleonora. Thank you, Dark Shadow, for being here. And everyone else who's popped in. Have a good week. Same time next week, and play some D&D. See you guys later, okay? Bye!